Hi everyone, we are back with Newbie Bite number 17, all about the if-else statements in Python. If-else statements are amazing. They allow you to add logic into your program so that the output of your program will change based on certain conditions. The way that you would do this in Python is you have the if with some conditional that needs to evaluate to true, followed by a colon. The next line needs to be indented in the if block. You do something if that conditional evaluates to true. Then you unindent, type else followed by a colon. And if that first conditional was false, you're going to do something different. Hopefully, this will make a little bit more sense if we see some code. I have a simple little program prepared for us right here that basically just has a weather object that is currently assigned the value cold. And we're saying if weather is equal to cold, print out, don't forget a jacket. Else, print celebrate and go out in a t-shirt. Let's run some code. And you can see that right now it just says don't forget a jacket. But remember, what this is actually doing is it's saying, okay, let me check to see what weather is equal to. Let's actually print the result of the comparison operator. If I run it now, I can see, okay, weather is equivalent to cold, and therefore it goes into the if statement and runs the print function with don't forget a jacket. Let's come up here and let's change this to something other than cold. And now I can see the print value up at the top says weather equals cold. We're printing out the result of that, which is false. And so it skips the if statement and it goes down to the else block. Celebrate and go outside in a t-shirt. I think that we could do a little bit better. Let's change this around where we're asking the user for some input. If I run the code, it first asks me how is the weather today. Now weather is assigned the value cold and it says don't forget a jacket. Let's try it one more time here and we'll say hot that says celebrate and go out in a t-shirt. This only takes care of two things. Either the weather is cold or it's anything else. So if we wanted to add a little bit more functionality, there's another thing that we can do. And this is actually called the else if statement. Is you have the if block first, the else if or elif block, and then the else. So the elif block will only be executed if the first conditional evaluates to false, and then the elif, another conditional, evaluates to true. If both of them are false, it jumps all the way down to the else. Let's go see what this looks like back in our script. So we'll go down here and we'll say else if weather is equal to rainy. If the weather is equivalent to rainy, print bring an umbrella. Run this. How's the weather today? It is cold. Don't forget a jacket. One more time. Let's switch it up to rainy. Bring an umbrella. Awesome. One thing that I get a lot of questions about is what is the need for the else if? Can't I just do another if statement? Well, take a moment, maybe even pause the video. What do you think is going to happen if I change this to two if statements? Are you ready? What is the weather today? It is cold. And you'll see that it actually prints out don't forget a jacket and celebrate and go out in a t-shirt. If you put two if statements, what's happening is this if statement gets evaluated completely on its own. It goes through, it checks to see if the weather is cold, it is, so it prints don't forget a jacket. But then it sees a second if statement and it starts this process all over again. They're no longer connected. So if we want to connect all of this logic together, we need to type the elif. If the weather is cold, evaluate the very first if block and then completely skip the rest. If we have two separate if blocks, then it's saying, okay, check the first one. Is it true? Yes. Now I'm going to check the second one no matter what and run through the rest of our conditionals here. Hopefully this was helpful and watch out for that if versus elif. Good luck on today's bite.